This show is brought to you by the Chiropractic Broadcast Network. Check us out on the web at chiropracticbroadcastnetwork.com. And hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Tuning into Health. My name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, and this is episode number 182 on this Thursday, March 29th. Whew. I just saw that Obama's budget just got voted unanimously against unanimously. So I'm wondering, who's Obama gonna blame now? Is it gonna be Bush or Palin? Not a single Democrat voted for his budget. Ouch! God, that's gotta hurt. Hey, we got some news for you today, news that you can use. I had over 1,000 news articles to go over this morning before I got on with you. But paid for performance may not pay off. What does that mean? In healthcare. In cancer science, many discoveries don't hold up. Study finds it's okay to drink alcohol after a heart attack. But also, breast cancer risk may be higher with just one drink a day. Lucky guys. FDA adds more warning labels to antidepressant label. Like it didn't have enough. Suicide. Power psychiatric medications are under state investigations. Doctors have feelings too. Damn it. New York Times article. Half of all cancers are preventable. And Americans widespread oppose mandated broccoli. Well, what do you think that the healthcare law is going to do for most people, huh? It's going to have influence on everything that's good or bad for you. So this and more right after this. And hello again. Thanks for joining me today on this Thursday, March 29th. Yeah, it's a busy day. We've got a lot of things happening right here in the Des Moines, Iowa area and the Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Centers. So I tell you what, let's see. We got a lot of things going on, but I really wanted to show you a great cartoon that I just happened upon right now. So let's see if I can show it to you. And see if you don't agree. See if you don't agree with this. Let's see. There we go. Right there. Sotomayor does not recuse herself from the Supreme Court. Doesn't matter that she's argued for Obamacare before in front of the Supreme Court. She doesn't recuse herself, which is a farce among all things. Oh gosh. Anyway, this whole healthcare stuff is it's gotten me riled up because I tell you what, I've got my practice position. Let's say, and it doesn't look good right now for Obamacare. I'll tell you what though. But if in a long shot, if Obamacare ever went through, I would not participate. I would not participate as a healthcare provider. Not at all. In fact, I'd poised my practice to the point of where I put it into a private membership role, which means that, and if need be, I could hand in my chiropractic license and not practice chiropractic. I would be practicing spinal tuning, a new innovative technique that is not recognized. So that means I wouldn't be licensed as a spinal tuning practitioner. But that, for the last 10 years, that's kind of been where, I've gotten fed up with the chiropractic profession as a whole and where they want to take us. They want us to start prescribing medications. That puts us in a whole different type of realm. So for the last 10 years or so, I've tried to start positioning my practice where, if need be, I could not become a chiropractor. So I'd still be a chiropractor, but I wouldn't be practicing chiropractic. I'd be practicing spinal tuning and giving the same great care to my practice members, but in a private membership role as well. So that's where I position my practice too. So I can change on a dime, where other chiropractors out there who chiropractors out there that depend on the insurance corporations for their reimbursement, it's not going to be so easy for them to turn on a dime. So there is a method to my madness. There's a reason why the whole spinal tuning thing came about, and also there's a reason why this private membership practice came about, because it's meant to pivot. Wherever the market goes, I'm not going there. Because how would you say this? No matter where the legal aspects of practicing chiropractic go, I'm going to go where the market goes. Okay, and the market wants somebody to take care of them, and if that means forming a brand new discipline, separate and distinct from the chiropractic profession, that's great. I'm all for it. I'll do it. So that has been my main mindset for the past 10 years. And that was the mindset of producing something called spinal tuning over the years. So just that kind of gives you a little bit more insight to where I'm coming from. Hey, we got got to get my tongue working this morning. Pay for performance may not pay off, study finds. So this comes from the Common Health, WBUR.org. So Medicare has spent tens of millions of dollars since 2004 paying doctors to improve care. But the new report published by the New England Journal of Medicine finds no difference for patients. The new study by researchers at Harvard School of Public Health says that the incentives paid doctors, what is known for pay for performance, made no difference in the mortality rates for more than 6 million patients. Lead author Anish Jha says it may be that the doctors weren't paid enough to compel change, or that the payments weren't based on meaningful measures, or it could be that what they're practicing doesn't frickin' work. Isn't it interesting that they don't give that possibility in here too? So most doctors are deathly afraid of pay for performance. And you know what? I bet there are some chiropractors out there too, because chiropractic is based on not only the knowledge, but it's also based on actual skill. You have to move the bone. You have to move the bone effectively. And believe it or not, there may be some chiropractors, I'm just saying, out there that aren't very effective at moving the bone. Yeah. So, there's a new study by researchers at Harvard School of Public Health say incentives paid to doctors, what's known as pay for performance, made no difference. A lot of us believe that paying for performance is a good thing, but how we do it still is something that we don't understand. He said the study has a broad implications on private insurance adopt pay for performance programs as well. We found no evidence that large hospital-based pay for performance programs led to a decrease in a 30-day mortality, the study concludes. Expectations of improved outcomes for programs modeled after Premier HQID, whatever that is, should therefore remain modest. So basically, they're not going to pay them for much for doing well. Isn't that interesting? In cancer science, many discoveries don't hold up. So where the frick is all that money going to? Yeah, cancer's a huge business, folks. Oops, sorry about that. I was grabbing for my coffee here. Coffee with a tablespoon of coconut oil. Yes, 125 calories. But it puts me into ketosis, you see. A former researcher at Megan Incorporated has found that many basic studies on cancer, a high proportion of them from university labs, are unreliable with grim consequences for producing new medicines in the future. During a decade as head of the global cancer research, Amgen, C. Glenn Begley identified 53 landmark publication papers from the top journals and reputable labs for his team to reproduce. Begley sought out to double-check the findings before he tried to build them for the drug development. Results? 47 of the 53 could not be replicated. He described his findings in a commentary piece published on Wednesday in the journal Nature. 47 out of 53 of those studies that were published in peer-reviewed journals could not be replicated. So that means it's not science, right? Right? Interesting. Heart attack victims cut risk with 2 drinks a day. Harvard study says so. So this comes from, I got this from Business Week and also Fox News. So until now, medical science has been unclear whether people, until Harvard got its hands on it, people have been unclear whether people who have had heart attacks should drink alcohol. But a new study from Brigham and Women's Hospital, Harvard Medical School, and the Harvard School of Public Health adds some powerful information to the equation. Researcher Jennifer Pye studied the health history of nearly 2,000 men who were considered moderate drinkers. Among those who had heart attacks, if they continued to drink in moderation after the attack, their risk of dying from cardiovascular disease declined, 45%, 43%, it said in the TV episode, compared to those who stopped drinking. Wow. Cut it by 45%. Amazing. Breast cancer risk may be higher with just 1 drink a day. Gosh, ladies, I'm sorry, but you can't drink, I guess, because your breast cancer risk is raised. Consuming as little as 1 drink a day or less may raise a woman's risk of developing breast cancer. So you can take care of your drunk slob husbands. No, I'm teasing you. European researchers analyzed data from more than 100 studies that looked at the relationship between alcohol consumption and breast cancer and found that having up to 1 drink a day raised a woman's risk of disease by 4%. 3 or more drinks a day increased the risk by 40 to 50%. Women should not exceed 1 drink per day, and the women that elevate... See, now this is the type of study that your government... Liberals, are you listening? Are you listening? Hello? Come on, look at me. Look at me right here. Liberals, this is the type of study that your government can utilize against you. Okay? And if you like having 1 drink a day, well, sorry, the government says you can't have it. But for men, guess what? They can. Men with heart attacks, they can, because it decreases the amount of healthcare spending, right? Liberals, that's what I want you to look at. Studies used like this says that you can't have more than 1 drink a day because you're going to cost our healthcare system more money because of breast cancer. I'm just saying, if you have 3 drinks a day, it increases it up to 45%. If a man with a heart attack has 2 drinks a day, basically what it does is it lowers their chance of heart attack or increases their longevity with a heart attack. FDA adds more warnings to antidepressant label. So, again, this is our government, who our tax dollars pay for, who now, after it's gone out into the public, are now adding more warning labels, warnings to the labels. So it's already black boxed, but now they're adding more after it's gone out into the public. So what that means is that the FDA isn't protecting you at all, folks. No, it's a misrepresentation of the truth to say that the FDA is actually protecting you, because they are not. They are protecting corporate interests, though. So, and a follow-up on the warning that high doses of the popular antidepressant Celexa can cause potentially fatal abnormal heart rhythms. U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued a new dosing recommended. But I bet you that Celexa, even though it can cause potentially fatal abnormal heart rhythms, will be definitely covered under the new healthcare law. Huh? Yeah, it's the pharmaceuticals are involved, folks. Duh. So, greater than 40 milligrams a day can cause changes in electrical activity in the heart, which can lead to abnormal heart rhythms, including potentially deadly arrhythmia known as torsades de Pointes. Patients at high risk include those with pre-existing heart conditions, and they'll just drink with it. Sorry. Those are prone to levels of potassium, magnesium in their blood, the FDA says. So, should not be used in greater than 40 milligrams. It's not recommended for patients with congenital long-term QT syndrome. Not recommended for patients that are taking other drugs. Oh, God. What a tangled web they weave. Powerful psychiatric medications are under state investigations. Yeah, so those same drugs that I told you about are the same drugs that are pushing on children. A state agency in Texas is investigating dozens of healthcare providers who gave out prescriptions for large amounts of powerful psychiatric drugs, to some of them to children, after red flags were raised about the medication by the U.S. Senator. According to the Dallas Star-Telegram, Texas Health and Human Services Commission has already referred 3 providers to the state attorney general for possible prosecution, according to the state commissioner. So the commissioner in February sent a letter to Charles Grassley of Iowa. Grassley's always involved with this type of stuff. He's a good guy. Also said that Texas has referred an additional provider to the state's private Medicaid claims processor further recruitment. Following the investigation, Grassley's office in 2010 regarding the use of addictive mental health drugs to subject to fraud and abuse. So, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Good guy, Grassley, for looking into it. Doctors have feelings too. This comes from the New York Times. It was a little like being, a bit like looking in a mirror. We were at the same height, the same build, the same age, mid-30s. Both of us had 2 young children at home. In other words, we had we been friends, we could easily have had shared clothing. But today, it was me with the white coat and her with the death sentence. Except she didn't know yet. It was the morning of Julia's discharge to the hospital, and we were going through the array of cardiac medications stacked with her bedside table, and she asked some questions about each bottle. Will this make my heart better? Which that's the, when it comes to medicine in general, people are looking for a cure. And that's what this whole basis from this whole healthcare mess is people are expecting somebody to cure them, because I can do whatever I want with my life. And I don't have to worry because something's there to cure me. And the problem with that level of thinking is that medicine really, there's no cure in medicine at all. There's no such thing as preventative medicine. It doesn't exist. There's no cure. They can only manage your chronic disease. Yeah, they can increase your quality of life if you have a disease, and that's fine. But there's no cure. So if you're on a blood pressure medication, I'm sorry, it doesn't mean that you're cured. It means that you're being managed. Okay? And it doesn't mean that you're not going to die from a heart attack. It just means that your problem is being managed. And you tell you what, folks, there's no decrease of heart attacks, even for those people on blood pressure medications. You ever stop to think about that? Anyway, this is from the UPI.com. More than half of all cancers are preventable, and medicine has the knowledge to prevent such cancers right away, U.S. researchers suggest. Okay, great. An epidemiologist, Dr. Graham Koditz, the director of prevention and control at University of Washington Siteman Cancer Center in St. Louis, said researchers reviewed the scientific literature and outlines obstacles in reducing the cancer burden in the United States around the world. We actually have an enormous amount of data about the causes and preventability of the cancer. And he said it was that we made an investment implementing what we know. So skepticism that cancer can be prevented by means such as quitting smoking. Benefits of underestimating because it'll take decades to become evident, while cancer screenings fundings often span 5 years or less. So research focus on treatment, not prevention. Yeah, exactly, because there's more money in it, folks. Hello. So lack of tobacco policy and the government subsidies don't do enough to discourage unhealthy behavior. Tell you what, folks, if you think that our healthcare laws, I have less concern with doing an emergency or crisis type of situation when it comes to a mandated medical treatment. Emergency and crisis, yeah, you can kind of see that. There's got to be a happy middle there. But if you think that you are going to manage people's health, you're dumb. You're dumb, stupid. You are crazy to think that you are going to manage people's health. Because if it gets right down to it, let's say you're a woman and you have one drink and the government finds out that you have one drink. Why should they pay for your breast cancer? Right? One drink a day, or if the government finds out that you're doing anything that's counterproductive to your health, why should we as a society pay for your... If half of all cancers are preventable, listen to me, folks. Listen to me. Look at me. If half of all cancers, this paper is saying, are preventable, why should society pay for something that you did wrong? But I didn't know it was wrong. Well, bull crap. They've got articles talking about how sitting will make you die earlier. If you sit too much, not let alone if you drink or if you smoke. If you smoke, never mind people like George Burns. They're not real people. You know, he smoked and drank and lived to 101. But he was special. Bob Hope did the same thing. They were special. Something's going on. It's insidious. So, but the studies, there's those people that want mandated health insurance, the one-payer system, but here's an article from UPI, says, survey, Americans oppose mandated broccoli. So most U.S. adults say that health insurance mandate is unconstitutional, but even more say it's Congress cannot mandate people to buy broccoli, the survey indicates. I would mandate them to get chiropractic care. Reason Roop poll, 1,200 U.S. adults found that 62% said Affordable Health Care Act was unconstitutional. A poll also found that 87% of U.S. adults said Congress does not have the power to require the purchase of broccoli, as some legal experts have suggested would be the case if Congress can require individuals to buy health care insurance. 8% of Congress cannot force a person to buy 8% said Congress said 8% said Congress cannot force a person to buy vegetables. When it came to addressing their health care needs, just 23% of Americans trust the government. That's less than 50% who say that they trust health insurance companies and considerably lower than 84% who trust their doctors. No comment. So they found that 23% of U.S. adults trust the government, yet 67% of Americans said that the public sector workers have better health care benefits than private sector workers. 22% said the benefits. See, it's all about we have versus what they have. We have versus what they have. It's not health insurance, folks. It's not health insurance. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'll be back right after this.
We love our chiropractor, and I've got 3 great reasons why. First, there are no appointments, which is great for my busy life. Second, we don't waste a lot of time sitting in a waiting room. Dr. Chad actually respects our time and schedule. Third, we get unlimited care at a low fixed monthly fee. That's right, my family's care is based on our needs, not the insurance company's ability to pay. You can love your chiropractor too, and your first adjustment at the Spinal Tuning Center is free. The Spinal Tuning Center is conveniently located on Merle Hay Road, right off Interstate 80. Find out more at spinaltuning.com or call 727-4000.
And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad. Okay. We got to get into this a little bit. Why am I? Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. I was hearing feedback. Where the heck was that coming from? Washington State hit hard by whooping cough. Whooping cough has spread throughout the country and is now extremely contagious bacterial disease that causes violent coughing is hitting the state of Washington particularly hard because you know what they found? They found that the whooping cough vaccine was not effective after 2 to 3 years. So that means every 7-year-old who thought they were protected, or that the government thought they were protected, or the medical establishment thought they were protected, basically was left unprotected. And what we see is we get cycles of pertussis. We get cycles of measles and mumps and rubella happening within our society. Of course, they're going to blame the non-vaccinators because, it's the non-vaccinators' fault that the person vaccinated caught the disease, Well, why the hell did you take the vaccine if it didn't protect you? What's the logic there? Hello, Bueller. I know, I'm going ranting today. Ranting. We love to go ranting. Snacking on chocolate linked to lower BMI. Now the government they can make you drink chocolate every day or eat chocolate every day. New study suggests that snacking on chocolate could help fight weight gain. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego asked more than 1,000 healthy men and women, how did they know they're healthy, about their chocolate consumption as well as the rest of their diet and physical activity. Those who ate chocolate more often during the week had lower body mass index, BMI. The measure of body fat content, in fact, eating chocolate 5 times per week was associated with decreased BMI. Excuse me. Spicy compounds may boost heart health. Can the government make you eat spicy compounds now? Try to do that with my wife. No. Some people can't get enough of the painful pleasures of spicy foods. Now, new researchers on hamsters, damn, suggest that those who like it hot may get some added heart health benefit from capsaicinoids, the compound that gives chili peppers and jalapenos the habaneros their kick. Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't, no, okay. You're talking jalapenos and habaneros. You don't do an Indian accent. Sorry about that. That's more of the, never mind. That's more of the curry accent. Not the, I can't do a Mexican accent or south of the border accent. Teens, the cinnamon challenge pneumonia risk. Oh my God, have you seen this? Look on YouTube and put the cinnamon challenge in there. My 13-year-old daughter had her birthday party, invited 7 of her friends, and I tried to stay away as much as I possibly could, but I had to walk down, and I walked into the kitchen to see my daughter with a tablespoon in a cinnamon container about ready to do the cinnamon test or challenge. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second, what's going on? We're doing the cinnamon challenge. And I'm like, oh, no, you're not. There's risks associated with the cinnamon challenge. So I made them stop right there. They never got one spoonful in their mouth. But no matter what, it would have left a freaking mess all over the kitchen. But I'm like, girl, you got to stop watching the freaking YouTube. You get some bad ideas. So the warning the parents of adolescents with the nation's poison centers. Yes, you've secured your medicine chest with liquor cabinet, but the new thrill-seeking activity among teens might make you consider locking away your cinnamon shaker as well. In the first 3 months of 2012, the nation's poison control centers have had 139 calls, close to 3 times as many as received all in 2011. Seeking help and information about the intentional misuse of cinnamon. At least 122 of those calls rose from something called the Cinnamon Challenge, a game growing in popularity among teens, which the child is dared to swallow a spoonful of ground or powdered cinnamon without drinking any water. Cinnamon coats and dries the mouth and throat. Coughing, gagging, vomiting, inhaling the cinnamon ensues, leading to throat irritation, breathing difficulties, and the risk of pneumonia. So this doctor says that the medical managing director of the Rocky Mountain Poison Control Center, for teens who suffer from asthma, the cinnamon challenge can be particularly risky because they can develop shortness of breath. Of 139 calls received thus far this year by Poison Control, 30 required medical evaluation. Damn kids. I couldn't believe it. I'm lucky I caught her doing that because she would have made a freaking mess and ruined her party. Dang kids, I tell you what. Okay, this is something that you don't want to tell the FDA. Raisins and 7 other foods could naturally lower your blood pressure. Aside from being tasty, a little addition to banana bread and oatmeal cookies, raisins could also benefit for blood pressure, according to a new study. Does that same with wine? Hello? Researchers from Louisville Metabolic Atherosclerosis Research Center found that snacking on raisins 3 times a day could mildly lower blood pressure compared to other kinds of snacks, promising, hey, get the booze out too, fellas, promising finding for people who may not have had full-blown hypertension, but are on the cusp of high blood pressure. Our study suggests if you have a choice between eating raisins or other snacks like crackers, chocolate chip cookies, you may be better off snacking on the raisins for at least respect to the blood pressure. So, boom, 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 boom. Well, it says 7 other foods. I can't find the 7 other foods. I print this out 1 page at a time, but I will publish this on Facebook. /Rohlfsen. Hey, if you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's right there, Des Moines Chiro. Des Moines Chiro is one word on YouTube, and that will just alert you to every time I publish a new Tuning Into Health show. So it's more helpful, and it's also, it gets out there and lets people know that you're watching me. Thank you. Hey, I had a great time today. It was a little rant. Yeah. And I had some personal stories as well. I had a chance to talk to a judge last night. He's a friend of mine, and we talked about the whole healthcare, stuff going through the Supreme Court and whatnot. The refreshing thing is we found this judge. He's been on the bench for about 20 years, and he's passionate about what he does. And I love to talk to people like that, passionate about what they do and how they can help society be a better part of man. And it was really refreshing to talk and to understand that we kind of agree on some of the basic fundamentals of what healthcare actually is. So he's one of the few non-chiropractors that have been able to tell me that the AMA is the parent company behind Blue Cross Blue Shield. Yeah, interesting. On that note, I want you to have a great day and tell people what you're watching. Push that Twitter, push that Facebook button. I really appreciate it. And, well, have a great one, folks. Bye-bye.